Doesn't this remind you of the WWE and the love to hold this belt finally? Well, I'm not much of a wrestler, but the guys behind me are, and they are always training regularly to take on and continue the dream of wrestling and get a chance to lift this title.
We are not the first pro wrestling organization here in the UAE, but we are the only operating one in the country. And we specialize in training, live shows, and private events. Everyone here has one thing in common, and that's the love for the sport, that's the love for pro wrestling. And they went from fans, you know, who grew up watching the product, to now still fans, but just doing wrestling, you know. And this is a good start, you know, but eventually, down the years, it's good to progress further into bigger stadiums, bigger venues, you know, and eventually become a greater spectacle than we already are.
Outside of the wrestling, I am an event organizer. We have shows almost twice a month. So up to now, I've had about 20-ish events. And outside the country, I've done one, which was in Pakistan. My end goal would be obviously making it to the big promotions like the WWE. Back in 2020, I was actually contacted by them to participate in the tryouts in Saudi Arabia. Because of COVID, it was delayed to a later date, but that's obviously not gonna put me down. I'm gonna work and work and work with every muscle, with every fiber in my body to be the best version of myself when they come back.
So these guys are more into the theatrics and the physical side of things as opposed to the Olympics. And this is going to be on everyone's mind. Does this form of wrestling hurt? Let's find out from the wrestlers themselves.
Absolutely, it hurts. Okay, this is the closest thing. This is incredibly painful that you spend years training to do. I've got countless injuries. I know friends who have countless injuries. I know people that are permanently injured, a variety of different injuries, muscle, physiology, whatever it is. This is a physical sport. It's a performance at the end of the day, but think of ballet. People train for years to do that. They break their bodies down, but at the end of the day, it's a performance on stage, and that's what we do. So there are good guys, there are bad guys, there are, you know, we have characters. We tell a story in that ring. Small guy versus big guy, can he overcome? These are stories, and we use that to captivate your attention so that you watch us. But to do what we're doing, I don't know if you can hear that right now, is painful. They're hurt. You know, I'll be sore tomorrow morning, and if you want to try that, you're more than welcome to.
So it's only been a year since these guys have set up the ring behind us here in Al Quoz, and their dreams are about going global. But for those of you who want to mimic Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or even Undertaker and Kane, don't try this at home. Come on down to these academies and learn it professionally. With cameraman Rahul Gujjar, this is Abdul Karim for Khaleej Times.